Yeah, the biggest topic I've heard throughout the entire event is how AI is going to be moving into the clinical supply chain world. I think pretty much every conversation I've had that's longer than a couple of minutes has had something to do with AI in the clinical supply chain world. For us and for the lecture that I gave, our main topic was how we are utilizing digital innovation to really impact clinical trials, not only in the way we support our sponsors, but how those digital innovations transform to help patients be able to see clinical trials as more accessible and something that more people can participate in. There's no one solution that is going to fit everybody inside clinical supply chain. Again, there's always going to be a need for both the smaller, more niche type providers, as well as the larger, more global type partners. In regards to digital innovation, we a lot of times at ThermoFisher like to talk about how our scale of our business actually allows us to really focus in on our biotech customers. It's that scale that actually allows us to personalize the business. And especially when it comes to data analytics, being able to have the volume of data allows us to make those decisions. So again, we really feel very strongly that our scale allows us to utilize those tools and be able to serve our customers better. So one big area that we've talked to multiple customers about is the changing landscape of clinical trials. It used to be very focused. Pretty much every phase 3 study kind of followed the same path. You brought up the United States first, you brought on Europe next, and then you might move into some other regions of the world. Over the last few years, specifically highlighting or after the conflict in Ukraine kicked off, we saw a large push to move clinical trials into newer areas of the world. One of the big areas we see is Latin America. Latin America has exploded in clinical trials, and it's something we're really excited to support. Actually, at ThermoFisher, our depots in Latin America have gone through a massive expansion to support the increased volume of work we're seeing moving into there, which also I find very exciting because this is also being able to get clinical trials into patient populations that have previously not really seen a lot of clinical trial work. Easiest solution to go to with that is our direct-to-patient model. Before COVID, direct-to-patient was one of those things that it was very niche. It was there were very small groups and pockets where it was used. My background is in transplant. And we use DTP to get patients drugs at their home where, you don't want to take a patient who's immunocompromised and have them come into a clinic every day. So we were able to do that. Because of COVID, actually, it is something that a lot of sponsors are really leaning into it in the future because we do see patients like that better. Patients like that, and again, we know patient adherence, it correlates directly to how effective a trial is.